Now that I've spent so much time dedicated to explaining what I like about her, I think it's only fair to talk about what I don't like about her, and also what I want to see more of from her character in the future. So the main thing I don't like about Cream is her fighting style. In truth, she's never fought anyone by herself, not even in battle, because she always has Cheese to do all the work, and I don't like that. I feel like she should have to get her own hands dirty at some point. Cream is proven to be fast enough to keep up with Sonic, strong enough to lift Big the Cat and Amy Rose and herself for extended periods, and she's trained with Amy and Emerald extensively, so she has battle knowledge and some experience. What I want to see is Cream using her own two hands to fight. And yes, I understand that Sega gave her Cheese so that her sweet little girl image wouldn't be tarnished, but I think that's a load of crap. Cream has already gone through this discrepancy in battle. She and Emerald defeat Chaos Gamma, but she still manages to sympathize with the robot and be her sweet loving self. There's no conflict there. Her character can still shine through even when it comes to violence, because her character art has opened this opportunity up and the message has already been taught, so let her fight with her own strength. For me, it would be fantastic if she went to another pacifist who has learned that violence is necessary in dire situations and learned how to fight with her own strength from that character. This character would, of course, be in this scenario Mighty, who is listed to be a pacifist as well, but has no trouble acting when the situation calls for it. Cream could learn how to fight in a way that deals minimal damage but can diffuse a physical confrontation quickly. That would be awesome. Also, I don't like that Cream doesn't have a weapon simply because she was created to be Amy's sidekick, just like Tails is Sonic's sidekick. Tails can do all the signature things Sonic can do when Sonic 2 came out, and he's been learning how to keep up with Sonic's ever-growing skills since then. So Amy's signature technique should be copied by Cream in some way to mirror their male counterparts. This would mean giving her the Sonic Advance 3 hammer permanently, or giving her another weapon. I think it'd be best if she didn't have the Pico Pico hammer, considering how violent and abrasive a hammer is. I feel like it should be something she already owns and something that is barely considered a weapon. I think Cream should use her umbrella as a weapon. You know, the umbrella she used to float down with in her intro scene in Sonic Advance 3. Yeah, that. She should use that. And here's why. There's a particular fighting style called Bartitsu, and I'm pretty sure I'm not pronouncing that right, also known as the martial art of gentlemen. This fighting style was used by the most polite and proper and socially refined of all the polite people in the world. 1800 and 1900 Englishmen from the upper class. This fighting style uses various types of attacks, but most notable is the walking stick and umbrella techniques. These techniques, as well as most of the Bartitsu art, is all about defense and incapacitation to make an opening for the practitioner to escape to prevent serious harm to either party. Doesn't that sound like the perfect fighting style for this character? And she's already got an umbrella. I sincerely feel there's something there for her to be able to work with, so she can use as little harm as possible to opponents while simultaneously using her own skills and prowess to defeat an opponent. Plus, Sherlock Holmes knew Bartitsu. Sherlock Holmes. So you know it's cool for the proper and polite, because he's the most proper and polite guy in all of fiction. Probably. Or if that's not an option, how about making Cream and Cheese work together somehow to defeat their enemies? It could be like Digimon or something, where the human and their Digimon have a connection, and the child can somehow empower the Digimon in a way that would be impossible without the human. Or even make them like a stand user and a stand from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Let Cream and Cheese be linked in battle. Any damage that Cheese takes is transferred to Cream and vice versa. Give their fighting technique rules that highlights Cream's effort and skill into their physical confrontations. I would just like some way for Cream to have more responsibility in a fight other than "Get him, Cheese!" And the last thing I want to mention as far as her physical prowess and combat stuff, I don't like that she can spin jump, spin dash, and homing attack. If I do another video like this for a different character, I'll most likely mention that for them as well. But I think those skills should be limited to Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and a couple of other choice characters. Here's why. That's Sonic's thing. If everyone in the series can spin dash, spin jump, and homing attack, then what makes Sonic so special? Because he can do it a little faster than them, so what? My issue with Cream sharing these abilities with Sonic is, why can a 6-year-old with no former knowledge of these techniques execute them perfectly? There's something wrong with that to me, because it said in previous manuals of the classic games, Sonic had to like figure that stuff out, and he had to like train in some sort of way to get to that level. You can't just have a 6-year-old just come up and say, "Whoop, I know how to do all that too." No. I feel like Cream needs to be more citizen-ish in her gameplay, meaning just let her jump on badniks like Mario would and take the spin dash and homing attack away. She's got cheese, remember. What does she need to curl into a ball for? It makes no sense. She's a rabbit. Rabbits don't curl into balls, they hop around. So her attacks should be hopping and stomping based in actuality. Another thing I don't like about Cream is her picture-perfect relationship with Vanilla, and I have mentioned this before. I would like to see at least a little tension between them at some point. Cream's gone through so many changes, it'd be nice for Vanilla to address those changes in some way, shape, or form. I want to see some misunderstandings between them, some secrets being kept from Vanilla, and I want them to be revealed later with some layered results. I don't want them to be dysfunctional or anything like that, but I don't know, I want to see more of them together, and I want to see a few flaws in their picture-perfect relationship. Design-wise, I don't like the one eyelash. It's just weird. They should have just given her smaller eyelashes, not one long one on each eyelid. It's weird for me. But other than that, I think her design is pretty great actually. Her orange, yellow, brown, and of course cream palette lends itself to comfort. Think of any home right now that you feel is comfortable, and I bet you'll find one, if not all, of these colors in that home. These colors together just make me feel easy, you know? I like that visually she pairs nicely with Amy's colors. Pink and cream are excellent colors that blend well together, like strawberry and cream oatmeal. Have you ever had strawberry and cream oatmeal? This is like the most delicious, beautiful oatmeal ever. I love it. And these two characters remind me of that wonderful combination. Then there's red and orange, along with green and brown. All of these colors naturally fit together, everyone knows that. Also, her glove cuffs are unique to all the other characters without being loud and distracting like Vector's or Espio's. While I like those gloves, I feel like there's a lost simplicity and a lost streamline effect for the character. With Cream, however, there's only a subtle but memorable difference in her gloves. And that's a classy golden cufflink, which if you think about it pairs up with Amy's golden bangles. They both have bling, but it isn't distracting or overbearing, it's subtle and practical for their characters. Amy, being a girly girl with a bit of class, has more jewelry, and Cream, being the modest but proper girl, sports the tiniest bit of jewelry simply because she was raised to be refined. Her design also matches with Cheese's. His blue body is the same color as her blue tie. His yellow tipped appendages match with her yellow on her shoes. And his pink wings match with her pink ear inside thing. I didn't say that right. His red tie is the one thing that doesn't match with her exactly, but as stated before, orange and red make a fine combination, so it still works. The other thing that rubs me the wrong way about Cream is probably the main reason why people don't like most Sonic characters, and that is, of course, her voice. She has had 3 voice actresses in her time, and I have to say I wasn't a fan of any of them. That is until I realized how monumental a difference between bad voice acting and bad voice direction is. When someone says that a piece of media has bad voice acting, it means that the voice actor or actress has failed to deliver the lines in a believable manner to the tone of that particular scene or that particular character. But bad voice direction is a lot more nuanced. The best example I can give of bad voice direction, but normal-ish voice acting, is this scene from Heroes.
Oh, I can't believe he did that just so he could get away. Mr. Sonic must be really... Really? What? Nothing.
You see how weird and stupid that exchange was? It was like the 2 voice actresses weren't even aware of the other as they did their lines. Let me make one thing clear. Voice actors are still actors, and actors, no matter how good they are, need good directors to keep them from going off. This is not the voice actress's fault per se, although they do mess up a little, but it's a monumental error on the person in charge of directing the actors. Now, I did some research, and it turns out this same voice actress also voiced Cream in Sonic Battle. Now, Battle doesn't have nearly as many spoken lines as Heroes, thank God, but the few lines she says for Cream in that game are honestly the best delivery of Cream lines I've ever heard. Take a listen.
Hi! Yes! Oh, let's do it! I won! Yeah! Ha! Yeah! Yeah! Oh!
That's not cringy, that's not annoying, that's not overly bubbly or childish. It's spot on. And this same voice actress did all of the lines in Heroes, which are bad. But when you have a cheesy, poorly written script and no direction for your actors, you end up with a sucky product every time. The same is the case for Cream and basically all Sonic characters, which is why I like her so much in Advance 2, Battle, and Advance 3. She does little to no actual talking. Her lines are written. And so to everyone that hates Cream and other characters because of their voice, I would say this. Just mute it and read the lines with your own perfect voice. That's not an actual reason to hate a character, just mute it. Her voice has nothing to do with her personality, her character arc, her successes, her failures. Nothing is dependent on her voice being annoying. So you can hate her if you want to, because her voice gets on your nerves, but honestly, if you keep yourself from liking someone because of their voice, then you're missing out on some great characters, and that's your problem. But if it's me, I'm just gonna mute it and keep it moving. And lastly, the final thing that I don't like about Cream the Rabbit is the fact that she doesn't openly voice her hatred for violence anymore, which is why I want her to train / meet / befriend Mighty. In training with Emerald, she doesn't complain about learning how to hurt people better. She doesn't express discomfort with this new direction her life has turned in. And I feel like she should have, at least at some point, voiced displeasure in learning how to fight. I want a moment where Cream is engaged in a physical confrontation, and I want her to openly lament what she's doing, because that makes her feel much more real. For example, if I believed all my life that stealing is wrong, which I do, only to find out that my only means of survival is to steal, then I would express discomfort in this. And if I've been handed this no-win situation in life, and someone is trying to teach me how to steal like a pro, I would be extremely hesitant and reluctant to this turn of events, because it isn't me, it's never been me, but the most important thing is I don't want this to be me, but I'm being forced by my situation to be a thief, and that's a powerful narrative perspective. A reluctant fighter is much more interesting than a fighter. It's an important detail that I feel adds a somber depth to her that can also give people in a similar forced role situation easy access to sympathize with her, and for everyone else to sort of just, okay, I get it. And it makes sense. Cream's character arc doesn't end with her liking violence now. She still doesn't like hurting people. She still believes that a peaceful solution should always be sought out. She still doesn't want to depart from her upbringing. But she's accepted the fact that the world doesn't work the way she wants it to, and she has to make exceptions to her moral rules when it comes to protecting those she holds dear. And for God's sakes, that's a profound and impactful message that all of us at some point need to understand. The world isn't full of rainbows and sunshine and pleasant faces. It's harsh, it's bleak, and it's rough. And the only way to keep the peace in your life is to get tough, make some sacrifices, and hold fast to your loved ones. When I first found out about Cream, it was when Sonic Advance 2 came out. A friend had managed to get his hands on it, and of course I was anxious to see what new and fresh things were in this game as opposed to its predecessor, which was super hard and I never beat it. Immediately when I looked at all the character options, I saw this cute little rabbit with a chow, and honestly I was intrigued from the second I saw her. When I played the game as Cream, with her joyous and optimistic opening animation, I was smitten. I had never really seen a character like this in a Sonic game. This happy-go-lucky, young, and innocent girl running around with Sonic and pals. It was quite a sight to see. Then when Heroes came out and she returned with a voice actress, I was less enthused about that, but still, it was good to see her again. And in this game, I discovered that she didn't actually like hurting people via the manual. She just wanted to help her friends. And that's where I had to stop and think. Why would Sega make a character that doesn't want to fight anyway? It bugged me for a long time for them to make a character that didn't really belong. But one day I found out the reason why. She's a reflection of the situations real kids have to go through when they begin to discover the real world they live in. When we have to move from doll houses to apartments and condos, when we have to trade in candy for like medicine, when we have to put down toys and pick up work uniforms, there's a powerful change that every child has to go through, and that's growing up to be an adult. And sometimes life forces kids to grow up too fast, so fast that they have to sacrifice pieces of their childhood to survive in a harsh world. Cream the Rabbit is a kid who had to grow up way too fast. She tried to fight that, as we all tried to fight maturing at some point in our lives. But ultimately, she just had to. Like all of us just have to. And yes, it's hard. It's really hard. You have to maybe give up some stuff. It's hard to hold on to the good things we had going for us as kids. We put down innocence along with our toys. We put down friendliness and genuine kindness with our childhood games. We lose the parts of us that make life exciting and fun. Except Cream doesn't lose any of those qualities. She still is innocent. She still can trust and open herself up to people. She can still be a kid. She just knows when to be mature now. Cream is grown up, not in the sad, hopeless way that most kids in her position have. No, she's strong enough, stubborn enough to keep all the good parts of being a kid, while maturing enough to function in the world competently and wisely, so she can benefit herself and her loved ones. This is who Cream the Rabbit truly is, and this is why I love her so much. And it's only now, after going through her journey in intimate detail, do I understand just how masterfully her unique character arc is done. I hope that you liked this video, and maybe I could convince you to love / like / hate less / appreciate / tolerate Cream the Rabbit, because she's an amazingly mature yet endearingly optimistic little girl trying to live a harmless life in a harmful world. Thanks for watching. Remember that growing up is something you can do without losing your inner kid, and hopefully I'll see you next video.
Please don't go.